Hello everyone, I am your host Ayushi Karasethia and welcome back to our channel Pabbly. In this video we are going to learn how you can create invoice in QuickBooks Online from Instamojo Smart Pages Payment. So let's take an example that you are selling some products digitally and you are collecting the payments through your Instamojo account, which is a payment gateway. Now you want that whenever you receive a payment into your Instamojo account, an invoice should be generated for that particular order. But creating the invoices manually will be a time-consuming and a tiresome process. And it becomes difficult when you receive hundreds and thousands of orders on a regular basis. So here we have came up with an amazing automation by which whenever you receive a payment into your Instamojo account, automatically the invoice will be created into your QuickBooks account, and that too automatically. But here there is a problem that there is no direct connection between your Instamojo account and QuickBooks. So here we are using a software application that is Pabbly Connect. So basically, Pabbly Connect is an automation and integration software which will help us in integrating Instamojo with QuickBooks account automatically. The best part here is it doesn't require any coding skills or programming knowledge. Even a non-technical person can use this software application very easily. So how you can set up this automation? For that, you need to come to my screen.
So welcome back to my screen. Here let us type Pabbly, pabbly.com in our browser. This is the website of Pabbly. Here we have to come to products and click on Pabbly Connect. This is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. As you are the first time user, you have to just click on sign up for free button and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes. If you are already a user of Pabbly Connect and have an account, simply click on sign in. In the All Apps section, come to Pabbly Connect and click on Access Now. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, come to this plus sign and click on Create Workflow. Now here we need to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as Instamojo to QuickBooks Integration. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on Create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, we want to create invoices in QuickBooks Online whenever a new sale happens in our Instamojo Smart Pages Payment. For that, first we need to create an integration or a connection between Instamojo account and Pabbly Connect. For that, just open this trigger window and here we are going to choose the application name as Instamojo. Select the trigger event as new sale. Now here we can see a Webhook URL and some instructions. So by following these instructions, you can set up the Webhook in your Instamojo account. So I'm just going to copy this Webhook URL from here. Let's move to Instamojo account. And here we are just moving to the Smart Pages option. Click on Smart Pages. And here I have already created a page named Programming Languages. I'm just going to click over here on 3 dots and I'm just going to click on Edit Page. Okay, and here you can see you can customize the page as per your requirement. This is the page header. The title is Programming Languages. Okay, I'll just show you. These are the page themes. You can select it as per your requirement. In this way, you can just customize the page as per your requirement. Here I have given the options of the products that I am just going to sell on my Instamojo account. That is core PHP programming, JavaScript tutorial, learning Python basics, and here I have added the amount also. So you can add the amount. Here I have added the testing amount. You can add the actual amount as per your requirement. Here I have added a payment button also, pay now. Okay. And this is the page content. If you want to specify something, you can just add it over here. And I'll just scroll down. These are the page settings. Okay. And here in the page settings option, we can find add webhook option. So simply click on this add webhook button. And now it is asking enter the webhook URL. So here we are going to paste the webhook URL that we have copied from Pabbly Connect. This URL. So we have pasted it over here. Okay. And now we are going to just click on save and update. And now let's click on yes, save and update. Okay, Smart Page Programming Languages edited successfully. So we have edited the page over here. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect, and here we can see that it is waiting for the webhook response. So in order to capture the response, we have to do a test payment. For that, I'll just move to the payment page. Okay, so this is my payment page, and from here I'm just going to select the product, that is core PHP programming. Let's click on pay now. And here I'll just enter the name, the first name as demo, last name as name itself, email ID as demo@pabblytunes.com. I'll just enter the mobile number over here. Now let's click on pay. Please wait, we are processing the order. Okay, and here I'm just going to make the actual payment. Okay, I'll just scan the QR code over here. The payment is getting processed. Okay, and here we can see that the payment is successful. Okay, thank you for your order. So the order has been placed. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And here we can see that the response is received and all the details related to the order as well as the customer is captured over here. When we scroll down, we can find the payment amount as ₹9. This was the test amount. Here we can find the buyer name as demo name, his email address. Here we can find his phone number. And when we scroll down, we can find the product that the buyer has purchased. Okay. And here we can find the order date and time also. So now first we need to check whether this particular buyer or the customer exists in our QuickBooks account or not. For that, scroll down, come to the action step over here and choose the application name as QuickBooks Online. And in the action event, select it as Find Customer. Click on Connect, click on Add New Connection and click on Connect with QuickBooks Online. Okay, we can see that the page is getting loaded over here. Authorization successful. Okay, and now the QuickBooks Online account is connected to Pabbly Connect just because I was already logged into my QuickBooks account. So make sure before creating a connection, you are logged into your QuickBooks account. Now here we need to map the email address of the customer. So we have already got the email address from the trigger response over here. So we will be mapping this email address. Let's scroll down and for mapping, come to Instamojo New Sale. And from here, we are going to map the email address. And now let's click on Save and Send Test Request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received and all the details related to this particular email address is captured over here. Here we can find the shipping address details. Okay, here we can find the date and time. Here we can find the customer name, his email address, and the related details are captured. So now we have two conditions over here. First, the customer may exist in our QuickBooks account. And the second condition, maybe the customer may not exist in our QuickBooks account. So in that case, first we need to apply the routers over here. So scroll down, click on this plus sign, add action step. And here we are going to choose the application name as router. So we will be specifying routes over here. So these will be the if conditions, that if the customer is existing, then what needs to be done? And if the customer is not existing, then what needs to be done? So we are going to just rename these routes by clicking on these three dots. Click on rename. And let's enter the route 1 as if customer exists. Let's click on update. And I will be renaming route 2 also. If customer does not exist. Okay, let's click on update. Now we will be specifying the filter and action steps. So click on set filter and action steps. So here we have to give the filter, only continue if. So this is the if condition. Here in the select label, let us select find customer and we will be mapping the customer ID over here. Let's scroll down and here we can find the customer ID as 8. Filter type will be exist. So if this particular customer exists, then what needs to be done? So let's click on Save and Send Test Request to check the condition. And here we have got the status success message condition is true just because demo customer do exist in our QuickBooks account. Okay, that is the reason we have got the customer ID. Now, as the customer is already existing, we are going to create the invoice for the customer. So let's click on this plus sign, add action step. And here we'll be adding the action application as QuickBooks. Select the action event as create an invoice. Click on connect. As we have recently created a connection in our previous step, so I'll be choosing the option select existing connection and I'll click on save. Okay, and now the QuickBooks Online account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here it is asking for the customer. So we'll be just click on this mapping button. I'll remove this data and here we will be mapping the customer ID that we have got from Find Customer. So let us map the customer ID. Okay. So the invoice will be created for this particular customer ID. Okay. So here we have mapped the customer ID. Okay, let's ignore all these fields. I'm just ignoring shipping address and billing address details just because from the customer ID, all the details will automatically get captured. Here you can select the sales term. So you can select it as net 15, net 30 or due on receipt as per your requirement. I'm just keeping it as due on receipt. Deposit to. So if you're having some departments, you can select it as per your requirement. I'm just selecting it as social media, deposit to social media account. Okay. If you want to mention the invoice number, document number or the due date, you can just specify it over here. Even now we are going to specify the line item description. Okay. That is from Instamojo. And here let us find the product. That is core PHP programming. Here let us map the quantity. So the quantity was 1. Here we have to map the price. So let us map the payment amount. Okay. Here you can select line item product or service as per your requirement. If you have the tax item or tax code, select it as per your requirement. Again, we need to map the line item amount. That is the total amount over here. If you want to give some discount percentage or discount amount, you can just give it over here. So we have entered all the details. Okay. And now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received and here in the response we have got a invoice ID. It means a new invoice is created in our QuickBooks account. Let's check it. I'll just take you to my QuickBooks account. From here I'll move to the sales section and let's click on invoices. Okay, and I'll just refresh it for the new items. Okay, and here we have got a new invoice created. Here we can find today's date, the customer name as demo. Here we can find the amount, status as due on receipt, that is today's date. I'm just going to open the invoice and I'll show it to you. Okay. Okay, and here we can see that this particular invoice is billed to demo name. Shipping address is mentioned over here. The terms are due on receipt. Invoice date is today's date. Due date is also today's date. And here we can find the product name as core PHP programming, amount as 9 rupees, total amount as 9. Okay. And in this way, we can see that a correct invoice is generated over here. Okay. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And now we are going to click on close. So we have set the first route that if the customer exists, then only create the invoice for the customer. Now we are going to set the filter and action steps for the second route, that if the customer does not exist, then what needs to be done. So come to this option, set filter and action steps, click on it. Again, select the label as QuickBooks Online and here let us map the label as customer ID. That was 8. Filter type will be does not exist. Okay. So if this particular customer ID does not exist, then what needs to be done? Let's click on save and send test request. So here we have got the status as error, message condition is false, just because we already know that demo name customer do exist in our QuickBooks account. So let's click on save. Data saved successfully and now we are going to just click on close. Now we are going to capture the response of the customer who does not exist in our QuickBooks account. So I'll just move to my trigger step over here. Okay, that is Instamojo new sale and here I'm just going to click on recapture webhook response. So I'll just place an order on the name of a customer who does not exist in our QuickBooks account. Do you wish to recapture the response? Let's click on yes. And now it is waiting for the webhook response. So whenever a new payment or a new product will be ordered, the details will be captured here. So let's move to the payment page. And this time I'm just going to select the product that is Learning Python Basics. Click on Pay Now. And here I'll be giving the first name as admin, last name as name itself, email ID at admin@pabblytudes invoices.com. I'll enter the phone number, mobile number over here. And now let's click on pay. Okay, and now I'll be making the actual payment. Let me just scan this particular QR code. Okay, and here we can see the payment is successful. Thank you for your order. So the order has been placed. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And here we can see the response is received, and in the response we have got the buyer name as admin name. Here we can find his email address, his phone number. Here we can find the product as Learning Python Basics. Okay, and here we can find the amount also, that is 11 rupees. Now we are going to set the filter and action steps for the second route. So come to router once again and click on set filter and action steps. And now let's click on this plus sign, add action step. So first we will be creating a customer in our QuickBooks account, just because this is a new customer and this customer does not exist in our QuickBooks account. For that, select the application name as QuickBooks Online. Select the action event as create a customer. Click on connect. As we have already created a connection, choose the option select existing connection and click on save. And now the QuickBooks Online account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here we need to give the given name. So here we will be mapping the name that we have got from Instamojo new sale. And let us map the name, that is admin name over here. Okay, let's scroll down. Now here let us map the mobile number. Let's scroll down. Here we are going to map the email address. That is admin@pabblytudes.com. And we don't have the address details, so I'm just leaving this field as blank. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received. And here in the response, we have got a new customer ID, that is 64. It means a new customer is created in our QuickBooks Online account. Now we are going to create the invoice for this particular customer. So scroll down, click on this plus sign, add action step once again. And let us choose the application name as QuickBooks Online. We'll again create a connection. Before that, we have to select the action event as create an invoice. Click on connect. Select the existing connection over here. Click on save. Okay, the connection is getting processed. Okay, now the QuickBooks Online account is connected. Now here we are going to map the customer ID that we have got from our previous step. Okay, let us remove this data. And here we are going to come to QuickBooks Online create a customer option. Okay, and from the drop down, let us map the customer ID. That is 64. So now the invoices will be created for this particular customer. Okay, let's scroll down. And here we have to map the email address. So let us map it from Instamojo once again. That is admin@pabblytudes.com. Okay, and I'm just leaving the shipping address details and billing address details over here. Let us select the sales term as net 15 this time. Deposit to, let us select it as advertising and marketing. And let us give the item description over here. So let us come to Instamojo. And this time it was Learning Python Basics. Here we'll be adding the quantity again from Instamojo. That was 1. Here we'll be adding the unit price. And here you can select the item, line item, product or service. Here let us map the line item amount as it is required. Okay. And I'm just leaving the discount percent, amount, tax details. If you want, you can just mention it over here. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received, and here we can find the invoice ID as 134. It means a new invoice is created in our QuickBooks Online account. Now let's check the invoices. Okay, I'll just close the previous invoice. And we are going to just refresh it for the new items. Okay, and before refreshing itself, we can find the new invoice details. Customer name as admin name. Invoice date is today's date. Amount is $11. Okay, it is mentioned over here. And status as due in 14 days. I'm just going to show you the invoice also. Okay, and here we can find the name, it is built to admin name. Here we can find the invoice date. Here we can find the product name as Learning Python Basics, the amount. So it means a correct invoice is generated over here. Okay. So we have successfully integrated Instamojo with QuickBooks. So let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us click on Save. Data saved successfully. Okay, and now let's click on Close. Now this is a one-time process. Next time, whenever your existing customer is going to place an order, automatically the invoice will get created into your QuickBooks Online account. And if a new customer is placing an order on your Instamojo account, then automatically first the customer will be created into your QuickBooks account and then the invoice will be generated for the new customer. So this is going to run in the real time. For that, we are going to just place an order once again. Okay, let's move to our product page once again. Okay, and this time I'm just going to place an order for JavaScript tutorial. Let's click on Pay Now. Let's give the first name as Test, last name as Customer. Okay, I'm just giving a random name over here. Let's give the email address as support@pabblytudes.com. Let's enter the phone number over here. Let's click on Pay. Okay, I have to make the actual payment once again. Okay, so the payment is successful. Okay, and the order has been placed. Thank you for your order. So as we have placed the order for the customer who does not exist in our QuickBooks account, so we have to check whether first the customer is created or not, and then we'll be checking the invoices also. For that, let's move to the QuickBooks account. And first, let us check the customers section. So let's enter the details over here as test customer. Okay, and here we can see that a test customer is created. We can find his details. Okay, now let's move to the invoices section. Okay, and here we can see that a test customer invoice is also generated. Okay, let's open the invoice. I'm just going to click on edit invoice. Okay, and here you can see that invoice is built to test customer Pabbly. And here we can find the invoice date. And here we can find the product name as JavaScript tutorial. And here we can find the amount also. So in this way, we can see that a correct invoice is generated and our integration is actually working fine in the real time also. So let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And I'll just minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. So first we have created an integration between Instamojo and Pabbly Connect. Then Pabbly Connect has captured all the details of the product and the customer whenever a new sale has happened. Then we have searched for the customer in QuickBooks Online, that whether the customer who has made the order exists in our QuickBooks account or not. And then we have applied the routers over here, that if the customer exists, then only create the invoice for the customer. And if the customer does not exist in our QuickBooks Online account, then first create a customer and then create the invoice for that customer. And in this way, we have learned that how we can create a successful integration between Instamojo and QuickBooks Online using Pabbly Connect.
So not just these software applications, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business using Pabbly Connect. In case of any queries, you can visit our Pabbly forum. To check the pricing details of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this particular URL. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect and this workflow is available in the description box. You can clone the same workflow into your account directly. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.